Tilta's GH6 cage. This is the base model, the basic kit, which just comes with the cage, no handle, and no top handles, no grips, none of that. It actually just came like this because there was some used stock that Tilta was selling on their site, so I just bought it like this. It does look like there's some wear and tear on here, but I'm just gonna put this on my GH6 that I had also recently purchased, and this is a 8-18 zoom lens, so I'll put this on my GH6 for the very first time and just feel it out and give my initial impressions of it. With the cage, this is all it came with, but there is a screw here that screws into, it looks like it screws into one of these key rings here that are meant for the D-rings. And only one side though. On the bottom here, you have, because the GH6 has both like a tripod, anti-twist spot, and then also a 1/4-20 there. This also has that, so you have an anti-twist, just like a traditional video tripod or in video camera. This is a rubber material on the bottom here that attaches to the camera, that touches the camera. Then here, there's also some rubber, because this touches the camera as well. So there's some rubber there, and these sides are all metal. There's no rubber. Here is Tilta's GH5 cage, and I really liked this cage a lot for my GH5, which I don't own anymore because I upgraded to the GH6. And I found that in comparison, I know the GH5 is older, so that could be why it's the price is a little, to me, more reasonable for what you're getting. But for this, is just for the base model, it's like almost $70. And for this one, which is another base model, it comes with a bunch of other stuff for, I think it was $150 around there. But I think it's worth it for the extra things you get. You get a top handle, you get multiple base plates in the kit. So this is the Arca Swiss plate, but you get a few other ones that you could swap out, and you still have their section here for their own slide handles that Tilta makes, and you get this wrist hand strap here that's really nice. It's really comfortable, and this feels good. I really liked it on my GH5. I'm gonna try to put it on with the lens attached. Let me see if that's possible. If it's not, I will take off the lens. So just to get a close-up of here, it's not two screws. It looks like there's two screws here, but this one, it's not really a screw. It's just to hold the anti-twist side part of it, part of the base here, because there's no screw in this section. So I will put it in there like that. Okay, there you go. There is the cage assembled. And I think it's good. It doesn't feel as nice as the GH5 cage did. I wish there was a hand strap here that it came with, but I believe you could just purchase Tilta's, one from Tilta. The hand grip doesn't feel as secure on here because it does feel like there's an opening here. There's a gap, and that gap is not, it doesn't ride up against the camera. So it's a little bit too big for my hand. If you have big hands, it should be good, but if you don't, this is kind of annoying here. On the top, you have access to all of the buttons. you can press all the buttons. You don't have to go underneath anything, so that is good. Same thing on this side. And it looks like there is room here, as if you're not going to use this top rail here for, looks like they're airy plates, and they're all quarter 20s. And then there's a cold shoe here. It looks like you can, if you have Panasonic's audio adapter module, it looks like it can fit on here and it won't interfere with the cage, but I'm not sure. I don't have that, but it looks like it won't. There's another cold shoe on this side. There's places to put a strap, a camera strap. And then on this side, you can also put another strap on here. There's quarter 20 mounts here if you wanted to screw something on. This side, you also have some quarter 20s, and you have an RE, kind of like a rosette. It's a smaller one, but I think the larger ones can fit on here. And they have their own, there's another mount here, or a screw that you could screw in Tilta's HDMI lock holders. When that opens up, yeah, you can still open that up. You know, open up all the ports. Here's the port for the microphone. Oh, can you? Yeah, you can open that up. It has its clearance. And just pull open the screen here. Yep, you can rotate the screen 360. That seems to be fine, no interference. And then can you raise the, let me try to raise the whole, yeah, I like that feature with the GH6 here. Yep, there's no interference with the cage. It's light. It feels very lightweight here. And this is a nano rail, or sorry, this is a NATO rail here, NATO rail compatible. So you can either screw on your RE mount, any of those kind of accessories, or you can just do a rail. Up here too, is this a rail? This might be a rail, but I don't know if you can really fit anything up here beyond using the cold shoes. Yeah, I'm not as impressed with this Tilta cage as I was with Tilta's previous cage for the GH5. The GH5's cage just looks more refined, and it feels like they spent a lot more time with the design and the engineering on it, and the hand grip here. It rests right alongside of the grip of the camera, and as you can see here with the GH6, there's this gap. I don't like that gap. You can see, you can access the card slots. Okay, there's another remote button or a plug that you can access. That seems fine. You can access that button, the lens release. If you do have the time code, that seems to be accessible as well. On here, you can screw in some, I think an extender. They offer an extender, so if you have a bigger lens. Let's see the battery compartment. I haven't tested that out. Okay, that opens up even with their bigger base plate here. And let me insert a battery. Here's the new batteries that these Panasonic GH6s come with, which is also the same battery as the GH5 Mark II. And also the full frame versions, the S5 and the S1H. I just removed the Tilta base plate that it came with, and here's the two screws. This is a different design that I didn't think it was going to look like. This is a cheese plate design for the base plate, so you can use this for maybe something else if you don't need this, because if you don't have the Tilta ecosystem, you're not going to need this base plate. And when I took it off, I discovered that on the bottom here, there's a few treats. The first treat is this key here. It's magnetically attached, and this is what you use. It's basically like a quarter to screw in the tripod, and it can just live there. I thought that was really neat, and I didn't realize this until I took the base plate apart. But here on the end frame of the cage is an Arca Swiss compatible design here. So here is a Arca Swiss head, and I'm going to just slip in the cage into the head, and there you go. So you don't need an Arca Swiss plate, because the base, the very bottom of this cage, is Arca Swiss compatible. I like that. And it also makes it a lot easier. This just added some bulk to it. So once I remove that, which I'm just going to leave it off, I like this a lot better, and I don't need anything else here because I have Arca Swiss tripods. And the magnetic seal is pretty good. I might be worried that this will fall off if I use this heavily, but right now this magnet seems to be holding up just fine. I also noticed that this is pretty flush here, and this does, I was showing you earlier that there's some rubber, and it is touching the top here, but it's providing a good anti-twist. There's no way this is really going to twist off. If you have a small monitor like this is a small rig NATO rail attachment. So with this NATO rail attachment, this right here, this entire thing here, is a NATO rail size. So here I'm going to put on my monitor, slide it on here, seal it, and there you go. I now have a monitor on the cage that's NATO rail. Clearly, I can't have the XLR module on here at the same time, but that's great that now I can just use this. There's a NATO rail on the top. I have an accessory to test out the NATO rail on the side handle on the left side. Here is a small rig NATO rail attachment. Slide that in. Oh, is this open? Yep, slides in, locked in, great.